Today we are going to learn about triangle test. First, let's see what triangle test is. This method is used when the test objective is to determine whether a sensory difference exists between two products. And it is particularly useful in situations where treatment effects may have produced product changes that cannot be characterized simply by one or two attributes. Although it is statistically more efficient than the paired comparison and duo-trio methods, the triangle test has limited use with products that involve sensory fatigue, carryover, or adaptation, and with subjects who find testing 3 samples too confusing. Now let's see where we can use triangle test. To determine whether product differences result from a change in ingredients, processing, packaging, or storage. To determine whether an overall difference exists, where no specific attributes can be identified as having been affected. And to select and monitor panelists for ability to discriminate given differences. When you present the test samples, present to each subject 3 coded samples. Instruct subjects that 2 samples are identical and 1 is different or odd. Ask the subjects to taste, feel, examine each product from left to right and select the odd sample. Count the number of correct replies and refer to table for interpretation. Generally, 20 to 40 subjects are used for triangle tests, although as few as the 12th of may be employed when differences are large and easy to identify. Similarity testing, on the other hand, requires 50 to 100 subjects. At a minimum, subjects should be familiar with the triangle test, the format, the task, the procedure for evaluation, and with the product being tested, especially because flavor memory plays a part in triangle testing. An orientation session is recommended prior to the actual taste test to familiarize subjects with the test procedures and product characteristics. Care must be taken to supply sufficient information to be instructive and motivating, while not biasing subjects with specific information about treatment effects and product identity. Offer samples simultaneously, if possible. However, samples that are bulky, leave an aftertaste, or show slight differences in appearance may be offered sequentially without invalidating the test. Prepare equal numbers of the 6 possible combinations and present these at random to the subjects. Ask subjects to examine, taste, feel, smell, etc., the samples in order from left to right, with the option of going back to repeat the evaluation of each while the test is in progress. Do not ask questions about preference, acceptance, degree of difference, or type of difference after the initial selection of the odd sample. This is because the subject's choice of the odd sample may bias his/her responses to these additional questions. Responses to such questions may be obtained through additional tests. In order to analyze and interpret the data, count the number of correct responses, correctly identified odd samples, and the number of total responses. Determine if the number correct for the number tested is equal to or larger than the number indicated in table. Do not count no difference replies as valid responses. Instruct subjects to guess if the odd sample is not detectable. Now let's move on to an example related to triangle test. A test beer, B, is brewed using a new lot of malt, and the sensory analyst wishes to know if it can be distinguished from control beer, A, taken from current production. The alpha value is 0.05. And number of panelists is 12. In here, you can see the score sheet of triangle test. And you should give instruction here for the panelist. Now, let's write the hypothesis. H note is there is no significant difference between beer A and beer B. H1 is there is a significant difference between beer A and beer B. Here, you can see the table. Now you know the alpha value is 0.05, that means 5%. And the number of panelists is 12. You can find 0.05 from the top row and 12 from the first column. Then you can find the corresponding table value is 8. As table value equal to the correct responses, the null hypothesis is rejected. Therefore, there is a significant difference between beer A and beer B, so this is the overview of triangle test. We will discuss other tests from our future videos. If you have any question, please leave a comment. Thanks for watching.